My name is Clint Chao, and I'm a co-founding general partner for Moment Ventures. I've spent the last 10 plus years in venture capital as a co-founder of, prior to Moment Ventures, Formative Ventures. And before that, I spent time as a startup executive in a couple of different technology startups, one called C-Cube Microsystems and the other called Skystream Networks. And I started my career before that at Motorola Semiconductor as a sales executive. And I went to school at UC Berkeley, where I received my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering and computer sciences. Our firm is called Moment Ventures. We have 3 partners, and Moment Ventures is an early stage venture capital firm. We invest in early stage companies building software solutions to connect digital and physical networks, something we call infrastructure of everything.
Yes.
So infrastructure of everything is essentially the platforms that connect digital and physical networks. The IT industry that I grew up in was really the original building of the internet. And during that time, it became a $4 trillion market, comprised mainly of all sorts of hardware and networking equipment and software platforms to help move information around between computers and smartphones. But if you think about this $4 trillion market, the only things that are connected today are phones and computers. But looking forward, we see so many new categories of devices that we will want to connect, whether it's robots, or VR, AR headsets, drones, cars, any type of, a lot of people call them IoT devices. And we even have, for example, an investment in a high altitude balloon company that will be connecting connecting to the internet through equipment deployed in the stratosphere. So infrastructure of everything really can comprise the platforms that connect all of these different categories of devices to the internet ecosystem. First of all, at Moment, we've already invested in about 15 companies. And then prior to that, maybe I think our fund, our formative fund had about 12 companies in that fund, and I had done a number of angel investments, either on my own or with another partner, but outside of a venture capital fund. Before Moment Ventures, I was fortunate to invest in a company called Vungle. Vungle is a company that is in the what we call in-app video ad platform market. So what they do is they insert video ads inside applications to help promote new applications when you're inside an application. It is a very fast-growing market, and China is a very targeted market for them. They have become one of the dominant platforms for video ads in the industry. As you know, most people spend all their time inside the app, and Vungle has become a key player in that space. And we have high hopes for how they play out. Yes, we hope that would be good. So one of the things that we always look for when we meet with new entrepreneurs is, first of all, we look at the target market that they're going after, and we usually like to see the entrepreneur come from that target market. It's really important for us to know that entrepreneurs understand the market that they're going after. We look at more, a few hundred every year, and obviously we aren't able to spend significant amounts of time with that many companies. So we try to quickly get an understanding of which companies we're a good fit for, and we try to funnel that down quickly so that on a monthly basis maybe we're always looking at several to a few dozen deals at any given time. We'd like to go deep obviously on companies we're contemplating an investment in. So at any given time we're always looking at a handful of investments that we are contemplating a serious investment in. I think right now is still a very good time to start a business. So I think the venture firms need to have a good understanding of where they need to spend their energies in choosing which entrepreneurs to back. At the end of the day, I think what never goes out of style is backing the really good entrepreneurs who are targeting specific problems. And as I mentioned before, there's so many different areas where I think there's room for innovation. As long as we can find the right entrepreneurs targeting solutions to those problems, there'll be some great opportunities to invest in. Yeah, I think this is a really good time for the U.S. and China to further collaborate in areas of technology. It's no secret that the center of the technology universe in most people's minds is Silicon Valley. And why is that? Silicon Valley, is about 50 to 60 years old as a center of technology. But one of the things that's very interesting about Silicon Valley is, if you notice, over the course of the 50, 60 years, there hasn't been one single company that has been the cause of success for Silicon Valley. And if you think today, who are the companies that we, pay close attention to in Silicon Valley, whether it's Facebook or Uber or, just a few years ago, of course, Google and Apple. These are companies that dominate innovation here in Silicon Valley. But, 1 decade ago, it was a different set of companies. It was Cisco and Yahoo, and even before that, we had companies like Sun Microsystems. So notice that every 10 years there was an opportunity for a new set of companies to come in and become the dominant providers or innovators in Silicon Valley. So why is that? I think that exists largely because, one, is we have 2 world-renowned universities right in our backyard, at Stanford and at UC Berkeley. The venture capital industry, the capital of venture capital is essentially on Sand Hill Road and in Menlo Park in Palo Alto. And so the support for these entrepreneurs comes from primarily the companies here. And then thirdly, the companies that end up being the logical acquirers of startups are exactly those companies we just talked about, whether it's Google or Facebook or Uber or what have you. So when you have that perfect storm of academic influence, financial influence, and technology influence from acquiring companies, I think Silicon Valley is going to continue to be a deep source of influence for technology in the decades to come. So why is that important to China? I think, first of all, there's many students from China that come over here to get to receive their education. Quite a few of them go to UC Berkeley and Stanford and what have you. So there's an opportunity for them to receive their technical training here in the heart of Silicon Valley, where they can work in and around the same people that are help building these companies. And in fact, many cases, they are some of the people behind these companies. If they're able to then leverage their influence and or presence in China to help extend the market opportunities for some of these companies, I think that's even more powerful.